Red Guardian returned to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in Thunderbolts*, but not in the way he deserved. The MCU timeline has a long track record of turning secondary characters into fan favorites, but it also has a habit of sidelining them just as quickly. One such character is Alexei Shostakov, aka the Red Guardian. Introduced in Black Widow as a washed-up super soldier with a flair for exaggeration and a strong paternal bond with Yelena Belova, Red Guardian immediately stood out. But despite a strong debut and a return in Thunderbolts, he's still largely relegated to comic relief. In a universe filled with gods, aliens, and billionaire inventors, it's easy for grounded, complex characters to get lost in the shuffle. That's especially true for those introduced outside the core Avengers lineup. The MCU has often given deeper emotional arcs to its primary heroes, while supporting players, especially ones with potential for dramatic depth, are used to lighten the tone. Red Guardian, as Russia's answer to Captain America, has all the ingredients for a layered and compelling arc. Yet 2 movies in, we've barely scratched the surface. Black Widow introduced Red Guardian and he immediately stole the show. David Harbour plays Alexei in the MCU. David Harbour's performance as Alexei in Black Widow was both hilarious and heartbreaking. In just a few scenes, Harbour sold Alexei as a man past his prime, clinging to former glory and desperate to matter again. He's more than a comic punchline. His history as the USSR's Red Guardian comes with its own weight of Cold War intrigue, nationalistic manipulation, and personal failure. Alexei was the Soviet Union's attempt to create their own Captain America, and while the details are vague, the implications are powerful. Unlike Steve Rogers, who emerged a hero and a legend, Alexei was discarded and imprisoned by the very system he served. His obsession with Captain America isn't just a joke, it's a tragic comparison. He wants to believe he was an equal, but deep down knows he never was. What made him stand out in Black Widow was not just his comic relief, but his emotional dynamic with Yelena. He may not be her biological father, but their bond is real. Beneath the bluster, Alexei shows genuine remorse for his past failures, and his desire to connect with her added heart to an otherwise action-heavy story. Thunderbolts* misses an opportunity to dig deeper into Red Guardian's past. Red Guardian's trauma went unexplored. David Harbour as Alexei Shostakov, Red Guardian in Black Widow. Thunderbolts* brought Red Guardian back into the MCU fold, but unfortunately, it didn't do much to develop his character. One major letdown was the lack of exploration into his personal trauma. In a film where other characters had their pasts visualized upon contact with Bob's mind-reading abilities, Alexei was notably excluded. That omission feels like a missed opportunity. Of all the characters on the Thunderbolts team, Alexei arguably has one of the most fascinating and disturbing histories. From Soviet experimentation to years of abandonment, his life is full of trauma worth exploring. The most he received was rewatching VHS tapes of his glory years as part of the USSR. Instead, he's mostly used as comic relief, recycling familiar beats, exaggerated stories, awkward bravado, and oblivious self-aggrandizement. His only meaningful emotional connection, his love for Yelena, is still intact, albeit strained. Regardless, it feels like the MCU is content to let that be his sole layer of depth. I'm worried Red Guardian will never get his due in the MCU. Time is running out for a compelling Red Guardian story. Red Guardian clenches his fist in Thunderbolts trailer. Looking ahead, Red Guardian is set to return in Avengers: Doomsday, a crossover event already bursting at the seams with high-profile characters. While it's exciting to see Alexei in another major film, there's little reason to believe he'll be more than comic relief again. With so many heavy hitters in the cast, meaningful character development for him seems unlikely, especially when contending with Robert Downey Jr.'s return to the franchise. Unless Marvel makes a conscious effort to explore his inner world in a different future project, Red Guardian will remain one-dimensional. This wastes his potential significantly. Behind the jokes in Thunderbolts* and the bravado is a man full of regret, longing, and lost potential, a tragic antihero who deserves far more than just a laugh track.